And well kicked by Peter Foy. Is it over the bar? It is. And Longford have taken the lead in O'Moore Park, Portlaoise. Halfback Peter Foy from Cashel. Brian White underneath this again. Lost sight of it for a moment. Drops behind for Louth to Ray Finnegan. In towards Lennon. Great knockdown to Rooney. Rooney has Paddy Keenan, and Paddy Keenan has his point. For a moment, goal was yawning at loads of spectators, but not at Paddy Keenan. Good sense to equalise the match. And Williams. John O'Brien. Judge. JP Rooney. That's JP's signature. Get it, grab it, hit it. Not many forwards in Ireland do that on a regular basis. Cooper does it. Stephen McDonald Armagh does it. Bernard Brogan now for Dublin does it. And add JP Rooney to it as well. Now it's Lennon. He got one goal in the first half. Referee is fair distance away from the whistle is gone. The whistle had gone before that ball hit the night. Yes, throwing the ball. No goal. And here comes Seamus Hannon Longford. The cornerback. Counter-attack. It needs to be swift, it needs to be accurate and incisive when Louth win it. Aaron Hoy to Judge, Colin Judge. Getting away from McCormack. Macaulay, he's a cornerback. The post on the other side are looking at him. Can have somebody who's used to being up there. He can. Brian White can't get the ball. The pass was poor. And there's a lot of open spaces now. Can Longford fill them to their own advantage? Here's McCormack. Well held for Louth by Desi Finnegan. To Michael Fanning. Back to Finnegan. Up to White. Famous name in Louth history is the surname White. Here's Shane Lennon. Come on. To Macaulay. That's a terrific looking effort by Declan Byrne. But what's more, it shoves the Louth score up another point. And the door, the big door is closing on Longford. This is the one that was disallowed. Shane Lennon looked to have been fouled by the fullback Masterson. He looked up, threw the ball scrum half style. You know how long it is since Longford got a score in this game? 29 minutes. Francis McGee got a lot of scores in the league, but this is the championship. 29 minutes going, counting, gone. Break out to Byrne. Can't get on for it. Nimla was in there for Longford. And breaking from the back. It was Mulligan. And there are no more whistles and no more plays. And Louth go into the next round of the Leinster Championship. And the final score to O'Moore Park in Portlaoise. Louth, 1 goal and 11 points. Longford, 1 goal and 7 points.
When we got into the position of going a point up, we probably missed 1 or 2 simple scoring opportunities that we didn't take, and came back to haunt us rather than, you know, hammering home the advantage when we got it. We allowed them back into the game and allowed them to get easy scores to get ahead, and it's disappointing.
Well, it was a win. It wasn't a good win, but look, it's a win, and that's all that matters. At the end of the day, it wasn't pretty. Now we didn't play great, but we got over the line, and that's all that matters. What is it that has disappointed you most about the display? Probably a lot of our options. Our option taking was very poor at times. Our shooting and that was fairly bad. I did the same myself with a couple of shots, and we were probably a bit slow and a bit lax on a few things. And look, at least it gives you something to work on the next day.
Kevin McStay, he's a bit hard on his own team there. Did Louth deserve to win?
Well, that was going to be my opening line. They absolutely did deserve to win. There's no question about that. And that's pretty important to state straight up. It wasn't a terrific game, really, you know, compared to the match before it. It died. A lot of the crowd had left at that stage. The atmosphere wasn't as good. They looked like Division 3 and Division 4 teams, respectively, Des, I'd have to say. And Louth will need a massive improvement to go any further. But they had a very good midfield. You know, I thought Keenan and White were excellent at midfield and as good as what I saw anywhere today. The full forward, Shane Lennon, was very, very dangerous as well. But they didn't have enough.
Were there positives there?
Were there positives there? Well, they kept at it. They scored regularly. You know, they kept the scoreboard ticking over, whereas Longford didn't score for the last 33 minutes of the match, essentially. You know, and it looked dreadful from their point of view. It just, even though the game was kind of still there for the taking, Longford just couldn't rev up at all and have a go at it. So Louth, you know, ran out easy enough winners in the end, but certainly the best team won on the day.
But some good scores there, looking at the highlights.
Well, that was the key for me, the long-range pointing, and on both sides. So maybe if I was being a little bit derogatory, but saying there were Division 3 and Division 4 teams, the standard of long-range point taking was absolutely outstanding. I mean, I put a clip together to give you a sense of that. Like that, you know, on a super day for kicking, these two teams were able to do them with the best of them. And right from the off, the first 3 or 4 scores of the game were from these sort of distance. You know, like terrific long point taken. That was Paddy Keenan. This is Sean McCormick. You know, whatever you can do, I can do just as well. And you know, that's pretty classy shooting in any man's language. This is terrific. Well, we know about JP Rooney for a long time, how dangerous he is, but from, you know, a really difficult angle. And these were the sort of scores, there's Paddy Dowd, these were the sort of scores that were, I suppose, keeping the interest, because the skill level around them wasn't as high. These are isolated incidents, I'd have to say. But, you know, terrific. There's Francis McGee finishing off the clip.
Great score.
Yeah, great score thing, but there was only 5 or 6 of these sort of guys on each team. The skill level wasn't high enough in an overall sense.
Oisín, long-range points aren't as common now as they used to be. Is that a fair comment?
Yeah, I think a lot of the time, especially in the 2 Ulster games I've seen to date, you know, it seems to be everybody's passing the buck and there's a lot of lateral football and different things like that. And I think if somebody, you know, can kick the ball over the bar from 50 yards, I think, you know, that's to be encouraged, because, you know, with defences, it draws defences out and it gives up opportunities for goals and different things.
Do you think, Dara, you know, she's saying passing the buck and giving responsibility on, is there a fear factor of losing possession? Will you be blamed if you don't score?
I think that's an awful lot of it. You know, these statisticians that come back to you and tell you turned over the ball X amount of times during the course of the game. There's such a premium on possession now in the game at the moment that nobody wants to be the actual guy to take it on. But sometimes, you know, when there's a movement so static, crabbing across the field, somebody has to take the initiative at that stage. And, you know, all the good players will at that stage have a cut. And I don't think anybody's going to criticise a player for having a cut when a movement is going over.
Keeps the defence honest as well when you can shoot. They have to come out to you, you know, if you're shooting from distance.
Was one tackle caught your attention in the match?
Yeah, and, you know, it concerned Jamed Masterson, and, you know, it is very much at the low end of the scale. I want to say that, but I want to highlight it because, you know, this, what did I do, ref? We're going to see it in a sec. This tackling with the knees, just coming up here now, it's rather dangerous, you know, in the ribs, the head area, and in light of you know, the Shane Duffy at the weekend, in a tackle that was completely accidental. When we look at tackles in where there is intent, you know, we just don't need them, and they're very dangerous. If people are hit at speed around the head area, you know, it's just not on.
And you suffered from a knee?
I did, yeah. You know, I broke my leg very badly as a result, so I know the sort of power. If you're hit with the knee at speed, you will shatter something, you know, and that's the lesson for everybody. You don't need that sort of nonsense.
OK, then. It's competition time. So to mark the start of this year's Football Championship, RTÉ Sport and Ulster Bank, official sponsor of the GAA Football Senior Championship, have come together to offer you the chance to win a VIP weekend in Dublin and attend this year's All-Ireland Football Final in Croke Park on September the 19th. And this prize for 2 includes premium level match tickets to the final in Croke Park, a 2-night stay in a Dublin city centre hotel, courtesy of Ulster Bank, and €2,000 spending money. So to enter, all you have to do is correctly answer the following question. Who are the current All-Ireland Senior Football Champions? Is it Dublin, Kerry or Mayo? To enter, call 15 15 71 71 74 with your selection, or text football followed by your answer and contact details to 57111. The number to call from Northern Ireland is 0901 293 0550. For more details and terms and conditions, go to RT Airtel page 193. The lines are open until 6 p.m. on Sunday, the 30th of May. Well, lots more to come in the programme with action from the rest of today's football games. A report on last night's hurling clash between Laois and Carlow and some great memories